What is going on, guys, and welcome to my build log of the awesome HinkyPunk system, which I'm sure you've read the title of the video, which is a system for my girlfriend, all the components of which you can see here. So, with regards to the HinkyPunk, what actually is it? I'm going to go over the specs briefly, and then I'm going to do a time-lapse video of me building it directly over the case so you guys can get an idea of what it's like to build a PC. If you want an instructional video, I'll have a link in the description down below as to how to build a PC, but this is just me actually building the PC and showing you what it looks like once it's built. So spec-wise, we have the CiT F3 Case, which is a lovely case. It's got the purple version with two purple LED fans, really cheap case, budget-orientated MATX case, with more than enough what we need. We have a 500 watt semi-modular power supply, the Corsair 500M, with all the connectors we need to power a GTX 770 reference card, as well as the rest of the system, as the CPU is very low power requiring. We have a 120GB SSD for boot, and we're probably going to be getting a hard drive very soon as a storage drive. And on top of that, the system specs include an old Intel motherboard with an LGA 1155 socket, Intel i5 2500S processor, which is a 2500 but lower power draw, so as it's slightly lower clocked for efficiency reasons, as we're not going to be liquid cooling. We have a standard 70 watt dissipation heatsink on the motherboard itself, which came with an old system of mine that was meant to cool a 100 watt i7, so it's more than capable of keeping the CPU nice and frosty, with nice high-end thermal paste in between it. And we also have 8GB of DDR3, 1866 MHz CAS latency, 12 HyperX memory from, I think Corsair make it, or is it Kingston? Kingston HyperX, isn't it? It's Kingston HyperX memory. So that's the RAM we have installed in the system. And without any further ado, let's get building. Build itself is slightly different to we originally anticipated because I thought we had some motherboard issues. So as you guys can tell, we have actually got a different motherboard and CPU cooler than originally intended. So I'm going to zoom in on it and take the side panel off so you guys can see. The actual problem was I thought we had a faulty motherboard because it was only posting and giving me artifacting on the screen whilst the graphics card was still working fine in my main rig. There you go, light it up a bit with my phone. So yeah, the graphics card was working fine in the main rig. And I assumed there was issues with the motherboard connector because the actual motherboard was working fine off of the integrated graphics processor in the i5 we have there, and it was actually working all fine apart from when the graphics card was plugged in we had artifacting, and the graphics card was a-okay, so I couldn't work out what was wrong. I assumed it was the PCIe slot, so I trashed the motherboard, got a new one, and actually as that motherboard heatsink only worked with that motherboard, I had to get a new heatsink as well. So we got the Hyper TX3i from Cooler Master as the heatsink for this, as it isn't a particularly high power demanding CPU, so that'd be more than ample as an air cooler. Still better than an Intel stock one, so this should be pretty good. And we've actually got an ASRock H61N DGS motherboard, which doesn't support USB 3. So the USB 3 port on the top of the case is now not in use, but the memory card reader is now in use as it has two USB 2 connectors. And to be honest, I think it looks a lot nicer because the motherboard looks a lot more premium. The cable routing was a lot easier to do, and I've routed the cables a bit nicer, so this all looks much more professional and nice in my opinion. When the side panel's on, all you can really see is the graphics card and the heatsink, which looks absolutely amazing. It all posts fine, and all I'm waiting for now is to swap that SSD we have down there out with a solid state hybrid drive, 3.5 inch one, and have a bit more storage. Once that is done, this is fully working. It actually posts, we can access Windows, and this motherboard can actually overclock the i5. I didn't know it could, but interestingly it actually lets you change the clock speeds on the i5 despite it not being an overclockable CPU. So we're going to see how far we can push that, and I'll give you an update once this thing is fully booted and has the solid state hybrid drive installed. So now it's built and I've seen that awesome B-roll, I thought I'd just go over how nice it is to use quickly before I end out the video. So on 3D Mark Firestrike it gets a lovely score of 6,900, which is a lot more powerful than any console on the market, and even the new consoles like the Xbox One S, a lot more powerful than any of them, and it's a fantastic user experience due to the fact that it has an SSD in it at the moment. While it hasn't got a lot of storage, we have got COD installed on it, runs at all medium to high graphic settings at 60 FPS at 1080p with a bit of anti-aliasing, no problem. And the actual user experience is fantastic. I personally think it's one of the best, I think it is the best system aesthetically I've ever built, and it actually puts my NZXT big rig I've got back here, which is a lot more powerful to shame in terms of aesthetics, because it's so compact and nice looking. I actually really love it. So that's it for the HinkyPunk build. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I've really enjoyed making it, and I really love how aesthetic it is. It's such a pretty system. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. So please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Bandicoot101, like my Facebook page at Bandicoot101, and follow me on Instagram at Bandicoot101. Links to all that good social media stuff will be down in my description below, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video because I've really enjoyed making it, and it's actually been a fantastic experience building in this case. So if you want to see a case review, I'll have that linked in the description below, as well as how I modded the LED on it, and on the graphics card on the GTX 770. Any of that stuff I'll link in the description for you guys to give it a shot yourself if you're so inclined, or to check out what I think of the computer parts. And I'll see you guys very soon with another awesome vlog, gaming or tech video, and I hope you guys have a good day.